Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordy. If you don't know me, normally I start videos with the makeup on so you can see it, but since this is a transformation, I wanted you guys to come on the journey with me. There is a reason I am doing this video. This is why. I don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I never have. I don't follow her on Instagram. I know somewhat of what her voice sounds like, and apparently it is like mine. I'm older than her, so technically she sounds like me. I don't sound like her. This is not meant to be a wearable makeup. This is not an inspired look. I'm gonna try and look like I am her, just for fun. Not because you should look like her or I should look like her, just art. Let's do it! I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna start with the Milk Makeup Hydrating Oil Stick. My skin has been so dry to the point that it's been like flaky and peeling. I've also got plenty of fun little blemishes. I'm gonna put this on, avoiding my eyebrow area. Soak into my flesh. Sorry if it's loud, I had to open the window because it's hot in here and I'm wearing a turtleneck. Didn't really have any Kylie-esque clothing. I have a whole bunch of pictures of her on my phone from different angles, mostly from dead on straight. This isn't gonna look great from every angle because I can't actually change the shape of my face. One thing that I noticed is she has less lid space in between her brow and her eye, so I am gonna cover my brows. I went back and forth, but I think it's necessary. Taking a purple Elmer's glue stick, and first of all, I'm just gonna go back and forth and I'm gonna put in like a lot of glue, making sure to coat both sides of my brow hairs. And then with a little spoolie, I'm gonna push the hair in the direction that they grow. So hopefully they lay quite flat. And in between each layer, I like to kind of clean up around the brow so there's as little glue on my skin as possible. I always struggle with this brow. This one never wants to lay flat like the other brow. I don't know if it's thicker or it just grows in a different direction and I can't quite get it right. I have a tiny capful of water on my desk and I'm just gonna wet my finger, kind of smooth them down in like a rolling motion. The water makes the glue kind of melty and then I can really smooth it down and get rid of any excess glue. When I'm not filming, I just lick my finger and that's gross, so that's not what I'm doing, but I'm telling you that I do that, so I might as well have just done that. Then going in with another layer and going in the direction that I squished my brows down. This is definitely a technique that I have not mastered. Watched plenty of videos and certain techniques just don't work for me, so I'm kind of just trying to figure out how it works for me. Might not work for you. I do wait till it's a little bit dry because I don't want to wipe off the glue entirely. Just want to get rid of any little glue clumps and press them down without moving the glue around. This is a technique that we learned in makeup school, but we did it completely different. We did it like special effects style, where we used spirit gum and we glued the brows down, and then we actually used a wax over the brow to kind of fill it in. Using water and smoothing them down does mean we have to do more layers because it takes off a bit of glue, but I would rather do thin layers of glue until they're done instead of like globbing on the glue and having it be kind of lumpy and yucky. Letting them dry in between each coat of glue. You can still feel little pokey spiky hairs. I haven't plucked my eyebrows in a while. And then going in again, pushing fairly hard, trying to fill in the grooves of my eyebrow hairs with glue. And another coat. I think this is number 4. There's never like a set amount that I do. I just do it until it looks all right. I think this might be my last coat. Maybe I lied. They still feel pretty textured. This one's okay. Oh, actually this one's okay too. One more. I can feel a really not flat part. I don't think this is a great brow cover, but oh well. I'm sick of it. Now I'm just using some of the Anastasia translucent powder. This is a really good way to see how shit you covered your brows. Look at all that texture. Now that I see this, I need to do more glue. Maybe 2 more layers. It's a long process that I have not mastered. Just not patient enough. I hate the way it feels. Ugh. This one looks better. This one doesn't. That layer looked like it did a little bit of filling in. I've lost count of how many glue layers. I might just have to accept that today is not going to be a great brow cover day. Maybe it'll be all right. You can't really tell until it's totally covered up. Just gonna make sure this is completely dry. All right, let's powder again. A little bit better. I don't really know what this brow's problem is. It likes to think it's a bushy brow and it's not. It's rude. Next, I'm gonna use this Makeup Obsession Quick Stick in the shade M03. It's a bit darker than my skin tone and it's kind of orangey, so it works really well to cover kind of blue gray tone that you can see through the glue. Also is quite good for not melting the glue down and ruining your brow cover. And this is why I don't shave my brows off. I'm just kind of pushing it in with my finger. I don't want to move it around too much. Okay, this brow cover did not turn out as badly as I thought. That looks pretty good. Even this one's not quite as bad as I thought. And then for foundation, I'm gonna use the Anastasia Luminous Foundation in 27OC. This is too dark for me, but she is more tanned than me, and I'm also gonna balance it with some concealer. It's kind of like contouring, but like first. Every time I push this down, it gets stuck and I have to pull it back out to get another pump. I don't like that. Believe it or not, this foundation actually matched in the summer. Now it just makes me look like a carrot. This is really coming together well. I actually didn't realize that I had gotten this pale. This looks horrible. I would probably do my ears, but I'm gonna be wearing a wig, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Oompa loompa doobity doo. Let's fix this a little bit, shall we? This is the Urban Decay Concealer in 10NN. Do a nice under eye highlight. Bring that up. She's got quite a lifted look. A little bit on the chin here. She has such a gorgeous jawline. I do not look as orange as it does on my camera monitor, I swear. I am already looking at the shape of her face when I'm placing my concealer. This will be like the base of our transformation makeup. See, we've already got like a little contour happening here. We are looking like a pretty blank canvas. Now I'm gonna go in with Pure White Concealer by Urban Decay, and I'm gonna really do some bright highlights to start with the illusion of changing my features. This is definitely a layering process, kind of like painting with acrylic paint. We'll do some highlights, and then I'll do some contour, and then I'll go back and look at it, add some more highlights, do some more contour, starting with liquid and then using powder. Next, I'm gonna go in with my contour stick in Fawn, which is gonna be too light for this complexion, but I'm just gonna use it as a guide, and then I'm gonna go over it with a darker powder. So first, I'm gonna look straight ahead in the mirror. I'm gonna sketch out a sharper jawline. She also has quite a little chin, so you can already see the difference with that little bit of contour, a little bit. I would love to know what work she has done, just out of curiosity. Got a chin strap. Okay, then we're gonna do a little cheekbone action. Her cheekbones are quite high, and they kind of come down. I'm not gonna worry too much about my forehead because I'm gonna put on a wig and I'm gonna pull it down a little bit farther onto my hairline because she has a small forehead. And then the nose. Her nose is very straight. I think it's like the same width all the way down her nose. It's definitely more like pushed down than mine is. It's really hard to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just looking at her features and trying to shade mine to look like hers. So the tip of her nose comes down farther, and then this part of her nose is kind of at the same level, whereas my nostrils come down. I'm just shading them, kind of hide that. And then we'll blend this, leaving it still pretty intense. We'll go in and add some highlights, and then we'll see how it looks. And then we'll probably go in and change up the contour a little bit. I love drawing and painting, and one of the things that I think I'm best at is portraits, but it's completely different when you're trying to put it on a face. I'm excited to do the eyebrows. I love starting an eyebrow from scratch. Now going back in with the white, I'm gonna sort of trace along some of the contour to give the illusion that the white part is kind of coming out. So the contour looks like it's going in and the white pops out. And then just going back in and making those lines sharper again. The jawline especially is going to be really intense because it's really important that my jawline kind of matches hers or it's not going to look right. I need this part to be really, really highlighted so that that comes out a little bit more because I don't have that jawline at all. I look like I have a nice little beard. I'm actually gonna go in and contour the side there. See if I can give it the illusion that it's just really, really sharp. Weird bits like that are probably gonna be hidden by the wig, but gotta do it anyway. If you can hear Louis meowing, it's because Luke is outside in the garden and he does not like it. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna highlight the nose a little bit. I do like to use my finger when I'm blending out nose stuff. It's just easier to control. And again, going back in with a contour product. Her nose is a very different shape than mine, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky. I need the front of my nose to come down a little bit lower, so I'm gonna use highlight, kind of make it look like this part of my nose is coming down. And then just shading, just looking at the photo and trying to replicate it as best as I can on my nose. We're getting there. I am going to powder now using the Anastasia translucent powder. I'm gonna bake the areas that we want really light. Before I forget, I'm gonna go over these with a little bit of concealer and powder over them as well. And then with a nice soft fluffy brush, pick up a tiny bit of powder and powder my whole face while also taking away excess powder. Now I'm gonna go in with some bronzer. This is Golden Gal by BH. And I'm gonna go over my contour, bronze it up a little bit. It really is a lot like drawing a portrait where you kind of look at it and then you draw it and then you figure out why the feature doesn't look right and you erase it, you do it again until it's right. Or sometimes it's never quite right. She does have a tiny bit of a dimple in her chin. Maybe not quite that much. Going in with a small brush and my Anastasia contour stick again. Just doing kind of a sharper nose contour. Should take out my nose ring, but I really don't wanna. I'm gonna take a little bit of highlight. This is gonna be hard. And I'm gonna highlight this part of my nose to kind of pull it out a little bit. There's not a lot I can do there with my nose ring in, but it's so hard to put in and out. Worth it though, because it's so cute. I'm gonna chill on this for a second and I'm gonna put on some eyebrows and see how it looks. When I'm starting an eyebrow from scratch, I like to use eyeshadow first, like a light taupey color, so it's easy to fix if I mess it up. Okay, so our eyebrows start quite low and they have a bit of an arch quite early on in her brow. And they're quite round. I'm gonna use a tiny bit of a darker brown just so I can see a little bit better. What if that was my eyebrow? They're not super thick. They do come down to the end of her eye. It's so crazy how much an eyebrow changes the face. Got it kind of sketched out. Just gonna go in with concealer, clean that up a little bit, bring that over just a little bit longer. I've never studied her eyebrows before. Okay, so let's try and do another one. She wears them quite close together in the middle. That one needs a little bit of work. This eyebrow is slightly too high. Bring it down a little bit. Mostly just the tail is a little bit too high. Now I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Brow Flick in brown and I'm just gonna really carefully draw in little hair strokes so they look a little bit less flat. All right, eyebrows are on. I'm gonna go in and do just a little bit more chiseling of the features. Really darken that cheekbone to give that illusion. I'm really sorry that the lighting keeps changing. It's really cloudy and the sun keeps disappearing and then coming back and then disappearing and then coming back. It's gonna drive me crazy when I'm editing. I can kind of attach the nose to our new eyebrows. If something does get a little bit too dark and harsh, even though this whole makeup is gonna be pretty intense, I can just pop a little bit of translucent powder on there. Also do a few layers of baking as I go. As I see what needs a little bit of brightening. I'm gonna powder the inner part of this little eyebrow, give it a little bit more of a fade. Too bad I don't have any brown contacts. Also, contacts are usually not cruelty-free, which is really unfortunate. For the eye, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of brown and just deepen the crease a little bit. Her eyes are bigger than mine, but I feel like our eyelid and eye shape are somewhat similar. And then with dark brown, I'm gonna tap that into the outer corner. And I'm gonna make a little wing, kind of just how she wears her eye makeup. I'll blend that out a little bit. And then I'm gonna use some brown liquid liner. This is the House Labs liner in Whiskey. And I'll just put on a little wing. The face is gonna look crazy, but the eye makeup is actually kind of pretty. She has quite a defined bottom lid, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna take a little bit of brown. I'm gonna really gently tap it kind of in the shape of a little eye bag, I suppose. I don't want it to look like I'm tired. I want it to look like I have like a little eyelid thing. So it needs to be really minimal. And clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of white shadow and I'm gonna pop that in there to make that kind of come forward. Now with the white eyeshadow, I'm just gonna make the highlights super extra. A little brow highlight. I'm gonna add a little bit of mascara now. This is the On the Rise Volume Lift Mascara by NYX. I'm gonna make this jawline a little sharper. It's gonna look crazy, but I'm going in with some dark brown eyeshadow just to change the shape of my nose a little bit. And then I'm kind of concealing the bottom part of my nose to hopefully make it look like it's kind of blended into the rest of my face. To make my nose look a little bit more straight across. Weird. I'm gonna put a little bit more highlight here to really lift my eye. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit more, make it a little bit darker, just for a little bit more lift. I think getting rid of my forehead is really gonna bring this together. I always underestimate how dark you need to make the contour to make the illusion work. I'm literally just using brown eyeshadow at this point. It doesn't look like she does a whole lot of big lash, so I'm gonna use these little lashes called Amethyst by House of Lashes, and I'm gonna give them a curl before I put them on so they kind of look more like a lash extension. I just actually take the lash and I stick it into the curler and then curl it in the curler. While the glue is getting tacky, I'm gonna use a little bit of my Jumbo Pencil in Milk by NYX. And I'm gonna put it on my waterline just to kind of make it look like my eyes are a little bit bigger. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of white carefully to my lid, just so we don't lose the lid behind the lashes. If that makes sense. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to the mouth, which I think is gonna be really fun. Her lips are wider across than mine. So the first thing I'm gonna do, this always looks so strange, is extend my lip a little bit. It kind of goes down, I look like a gelfling. It needs to match the line of my mouth or it won't look right. And then I'm gonna use a mauve liner with classic Kylie lip. And I'm going to line my lip down to the end of where we extended it. This isn't dark enough. There we go. So we went a little too far. That's okay, we can fix it. Let's try that again. Her bottom lip is really full right in the middle. Her top lip is very rounded. Just soften that a little bit. I'll clean up edges. Just going back to the eye for a second. Just gonna go in with a little bit of brown. I'm gonna make kind of a faux crease because looking at other photos, she has a bit of a rounder eyelid than I do. Back to the lip, I'm gonna use a little bit of Weirdo Vice lipstick from Urban Decay. Now I'm gonna add some actual highlighter. This is Glow Bandit by Hank & Henry. Just putting it in all the same places I normally would. And a little bit of blush from the Fairy Blush Palette. I'm gonna use Sunstone. I'm gonna pop on my wig and look and see what needs to be adjusted. I'll be right back. All right, there are a few things that I'm going to tweak a little bit. I'm going to darken this more, re-darken where we extended the mouth, curl the lashes again, try and open up my eyes a little bit more. I'm gonna bring this farther in. And this is a bit painful, but I think I need to change the eyebrows a little bit. A little less of an arch. And I probably could have brought them down even lower than I did, which is annoying. I don't want to do it again. We'll just give her a bit of a thicker brow. I'm gonna do a little bit of eyeshadow under the eye and go just a little bit stronger on the jawline. I'm gonna add a little bit of a wing in the inner corner here to bring my eye out a little bit. I wish I had brown eyes. I just don't think this is gonna work without brown eyes. Just making my chin a little bit smaller. See if that helps. I think this one is a fail. I can see her in there somewhere, just not on the surface. Maybe if I had some face tape. I look a little bit Angelina. I really want to take a photo and edit my eyes brown and see what it looks like. These don't work. It's a little bit better with the wig pulled down a little bit more. At this point in a transformation, I always feel like it's awful, horrible, looks nothing like the person I was trying to transform into. And then when I look at the footage, sometimes it looks a little bit better, than I thought it did in the moment. Fingers crossed this one isn't as shit as I think it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Tell me where I went wrong, and I will see you in the next video. I made a few more teeny tiny tweaks, and now maybe it's a little bit better.